Greetings and salutations, Pokemon fans. We're back with more fantastic, fabulous even, Smogon Premier League commentary. We are looking at Sugarhigh against Starmaster. And the first thing that pops up is that this is four psychic types on one team, which might seem like a lot, but sometimes you just have to load the four psychics, right? I don't think so, but hey, and these type of teams, I mean, they're okay. The weaknesses are almost always the same, which is to say, they're very they're very water weak in a pretty sad way, I would say. Right, even just Politoed, if you switching Politoed on Nippodon or Skermor, you just click Skull, right? And yeah, the best play is to go Reuniclus, but Reuniclus will take what, 40%, and then you have to instantly recover. And not only you risk getting Anchor, but also you risk your opponent playing around it and switching to something that threatens Reuniclus out, or, well, a lot of things can go wrong with that kind of game plan, which is why I don't like this type of teams. Clef over a psychic type, say, wouldn't fix it either, in my opinion. So I would avoid that one as well. But I'm not the one playing, so you know. As for Sugar Eye, this is a pretty, I wouldn't say standard. It's a slightly older style of hyper offense where you have it's basically fully physically based offense, except for the Starmie. The idea is to that these mons are pretty good at breaking down walls for each other, especially Scizor for D-Knight or the other way around, or Breloom and Scizor as well. That's also pretty strong. And he's got a Jirachi too to Healing Wish stuff should he need it, which may very well do so in this matchup because this team is not that threatening right off the bat. And so, yeah, you might find an opening for Healing Wish later on. For example, you can use Dragonite and just DD up, Outrage, Fire Punch, whatever. And you can get a lot of done this way. Right, for how should this play out? Well, of course you lead Aerodactyl here and probably Taunt. Either, I mean, you Taunt Hippodon and Skarmory and click Stealth Rock against everything else. There's no reason not to. You want Rocks up. They damage Skarmory, which is pretty important for Balloon Scissor D-Knight. They hit the Latios too, which is always nice. It might put it in, say, an extreme speed range later on. And it's not like Aerodactyl can do much else, right? There's not really, it's not like Terrakion, say, where maybe you have Swords Dance as a lead Sash, and then you have to decide whether you want to Rocks or SD Tor 1. You can, you can just toss it to the Wolves, and that's totally fine. And so this will be Aerodactyl lead, and if you're a Starmaster, I believe you will lead Hippodon anyway. It's always the same deal. I've been saying this a lot for this tournament, but in general, you really want Sand up against this. And if your opponent leads Breloom, well, you can. It depends on what you're expecting it to be, right? If it's banned, then Skarmory probably. But if you get banned low swept, that's a bit annoying. There's always Latios, but again, ban would completely nuke you. But you still probably want to lead Hippo. Is there a wording where instead you lead the Bronze Zone? And mm, does Bronze Zone take too much damage? Do you lead Latios? No, no way, right? Maybe you lead Bronze Zone, and if it's Pyro, you just immediately go Hippo, and then you go immediately back to Bronze Zone. I think that's the best course of action. Because Bronze Zone, but Bronze Zone lets Breloom ST for free. Do you lead the Skarmory then? I guess this, yeah, you do lead Skarmory actually. That's totally perfect. And then you go back to Hippodon turn 1. Right, so I lead Skarmory if I'm Starmaster, and I lead Aerodactyl. I think trying to lead Breloom, I guess this is a bit ambitious to say the least, but let's see what the players think. Aero, Bronzong. Okay, I don't hate Bronzong. I was considering it myself earlier. Okay, sure. And oh, it's Roxzong. Never mind. Okay, then this was better. Okay, no, yeah, okay. This is definitely the play if it's Roxzong. I approve. Oh my god, let's make it a bit slower. Okay, very nice. Hard HP fire. Now Hippo. Girachuters to Brelum. That's okay. You have gotten Sand up. Oh, Starmie. Right, so as I said earlier, teams very weak to water moves, especially Hydro Pump with analytics. So, I mean, you don't really have a good play. I guess you go Bronzong and Bronzong at least can face this off if it spins. But I think you should attack. Oh, goes to the left. This is pretty bad for Sugarhigh because you don't want to spin here, right? Yeah. Okay, Scissor, sure. This is a good switch. And USD up for 100% of the times because you know Zam is life orb, right? Because it HP fired your Ratchet and it did a billion damage. Oh wait, that did nothing. Do you SD again? I think you do. And then you get one kill guaranteed. You probably superpower here if you're Scissor. There's not really much else to do. Okay, and well at this point maybe it is Sash Zam. And Jirachi just took. Let's just calculate it. I mean, that's why we have a fantastic damage calculator. I'm in black and white, and I'm in black and I'm a Jirachi. Jirachi Scar. Is this okay? In an hour fire. It did what, 43%? So but GRC on hyper offense is almost always bulky, right? Okay, so if this is zero bulk Rachi or 72 HPFs, like it says, like the calc has, it's focus. Okay, let's see, because I have to check this one out. But I'm bulky, like something like this. Okay, there's no way this is life, right? It doesn't square with any calculation. It did 43, so it's Sash. Okay. And so yeah, you cannot bullet punch this or you die, and Scissor can still get a kill or two here, especially feeling wish it up. And so you sacrifice Aerodactyl. Okay, let's go back. So we established Zam is Sash, like just guaranteed. And that means you have to switch Scissor out because you don't want to die, obviously. And so you go Dactyl and then just Rachi U-turn. But then what if Skarmy comes out? I think you have to you go Starmira. Oh, Bronzong. Oh, do you still go? Oh, you go Brelon. Okay, sure. Brelon is quite slow. Jarable will not do that much damage. It will do like what 45% ish. And let's see what happens. Source sense. Okay, so you have to trade, right? You Brave Bird. You leave low sweep, even if it's like life orb. You should leave it. And you kill with Brave Bird, I have recoil. Not great, but I mean, what else can do? Do you win? No, right? That's stupid. It has to be Brave Bird this turn. If you don't want to trade, you would have to sacrifice something and then revenge kill with, say, Alakazam. Uh, but if you do that, you're probably fine. But what do you sacrifice? Reuniclus? That sure is an option. So if you sacrifice Reuniclus and go Zam and click HP Fire, you have rocks up, your opponent then has to go Rachi, but I mean, he has to lose something, right? He could maybe pivot around it, but he will take too much damage. He has to Mach Punch and then go Rachi. Hmm. So I wonder if you should sacrifice Reuniclus from here and then go Zam. The problem with that play is that you become very weak to the next time Brelon comes in. I think you should just trade this. I don't see any other play. You spike? No, right? I mean, you could spike. Jirachi with one spike down still has two entrances though, which is pretty bad. If it died to rocks plus spikes, switching in twice, then yeah, but I don't think it does because it takes what 12.5 plus 6.25, that means 18.75. Two times it's, well, no, it leaves at 1%. And so it's not worth it, right? But so you Brave Birds trade and then try to win with Bronzong. Yeah, that works, right? And the only no, because you still have a Zam, right? So okay, you trade this, and Skermori dies, both are dead, and then you go Reuniclus, and your opponent has no good play into Reuniclus, right? Jirachi does nothing, Scizor at +0 doesn't do enough, Dragonite at +0, I mean, it leaves one hit unless your Ice move, which could be because Zam is fire, and in fact, it might be just Bolt Beam, which would be in a pretty decent spot from here. Okay, yeah, okay, so you trade the Skarmory, and then when both kill each other, and then you go Reuniclus, and Sugarhigh, whatever it goes for, it's kind of weak into Reun. The main issue will be, say, Healing Wish to the Scizor, but yes, you still have a Fire Zam here, and then he will lose the Rachi, so that's... And then you have... But then there's still a Breloom, and you don't have Skarmory anymore. You have a Latios. This is a hard turn, but I think I Brave here, that's for sure. Superpower, items, Skarmory is not Rock Helmet, not Lefties, which means it's Shed Shell, and it spikes. Okay. Uh, this is the worst outcome, right? Now you go Latios and just Draco or Pulse, whatever you have. Pulse preferably. Hey, Draco. Then your opponent should probably go Rachi. Starmie. Oh yeah, of course. Starmie is a good play. Bronzong comes out. Do you pump? Okay, spin. Okay, he goes for the pump play. This is decent. Bronzong is now low. Dragonite is looking mighty dangerous now. Oh, it's protect. Ugh, disgusting protect Bronzong users. Okay, what do you click here as Sugarhigh after this turn ends? Do you Hydro Pump the Bronzong? But do you not die to Gyro Ball? But your opponent might also try to outplay you and click rocks again. I think I pump. Okay, pump happens. 35%. Oh. Maybe spinning was better, because you can spin, and then you have a stun at 4%, bronze, whatever it is, and then you immediately add the Dragonite, because Starmaster kind of fast rocks again, and even if Gyros, Dragonite doesn't take that much damage. And then you DD up. Kind of dangerous, but I can see that work out. Oh, well, if you do this, then might as well do it when rocks are not up, right? If you just do this. Okay, and what do you click? Your lefty, so you DD up, right? There's no... I mean, Bronzong will not do that much damage. Okay. Are there uniques on the D-Knight? It's Ice Rain, right? Because it's Fire Zam. You don't do Psychic Blast when you also have like Zam Latios. That's extreme. You really need a Ice move on this guy. Because else Gliscor just kills you. Like it's a 6-0 from preview with this 6 against Gliscor. So this was Ice, and then unfortunately it got crit, and that means that this game is gone. This is just over. Zam cannot revenge kill Dragonite. Latios is lower because it specs. Bronzong is very low. You have to protect and hope the outrage mechanics work in your favor, but outrage on protect is the most random thing ever, and so this is extremely dicey. But it's your best play, so you got Zong and protect, and spam protect like 10 times. Okay, protect, and looks like a 3-turn outrage, but it's... What? Okay, another protect, and... Oh no, it was a 2-turn outrage, but okay, so if you outrage and it gets protected and outrage ends, I believe it's like a 50% chance to get confused or not, which I'm not sure why it works like that, but at least I think it works like that. But I may be misremembering. But it's quite funky anyway. And anyway, outrage ended, no confusion, which is just over now. Okay, so my main question is the Skarmory versus Breloom turn. Why Spike there? Option 1, he expected it to go like it did and hoped to not get crit, which... okay-ish, but the problem is it gets put away quite easily anyway. And your opponent has to spin. Whether you spike or not, your opponent will then go Starmie spin once the Breloom versus Skarmory has happened, which, for example, like the way it went in this game. My other hypothesis, which it's probably the correct one, is that when you see a team like the one Starmaster brought, it looks like an ABR team, and ABR has a specific way of using Skarmory, let's say, which is Shed Shell, like this one was, and the last move, it's Roost Whirlwind, and the last move is Rock Smash. And the idea behind the set is that Escadrille is extremely annoying and wants to switch into your... every time... Okay, if you don't have Rocky Helmet, you click Spikes, Escadrille comes in immediately and immediately spins, and you're losing that 1 versus 1. You cannot win that, because Brave Bird does too little damage, and Escadrille can spin, switch out, come back in later. Even if it's Protect, it's even worse. It can click Iron Head and force you to Roost. And so if you instead run Rock Smash, you can get Spikes as Esca comes in, click Rock Smash, it will do... I mean, it does less than Brave Bird, because Brave Bird is 90 base power, Rock Smash is what, 40, so it's 80 power against Excadrill, but it has a lot of PPs, it drops defense, so you can Rock Smash, drop defense, click Spikes, because the Esca has to switch out, because you drop its defense, That's the idea behind the set. I understand. I personally disagree with it. I think it's an incredibly short-sighted way of using Skarmory. Just run Rocky Helmet, please, if you want to do that, and please run Braver. Or if you really, really hate the recoil without lefties, which, fair enough, you run Drill Pack. It's kind of weak, but it kind of works fine-ish. And that's it. Okay, so I'm going to assume this was Rock Smash Skarmory, and since I'm giving it like 70% chance it is Rock Smash. Okay, so if this is Rock Smash Skarmory, you have to spike. Probably, I mean, what else do you do? So yeah, you spike. Uh, yeah, not much else you can do. And so that's a problem. That's a massive problem. Hmm. But what else can you do? Another, maybe not weird, but the Bronzong against Caesar early game, that was a bit weird. Okay, this was a very good Zam switch in, because, yeah, it just was. Not much else to say. And, okay, fire. Okay, dodge, what, I mean, whatever, it's hydro pump, it goes to the left. That's what the move is designed to do. Okay, here, you gyrable, yes, 100% of the times. Oh, but of course, this is another problem with Rock Smash on Scamry, right? This guy just exists. Okay, but is it better to? I guess it doesn't really matter. You lose Hippodon anyway. Okay, no, even if you go Hippo here on turn 8, I mean, your opponent just boosts up anyway, so it doesn't really matter. I guess it's just how it is. Season will go slightly lower, but the game plan here is to relinquish it back up anyway. So whatever, no, this doesn't matter. Okay, good Zam. Bronzong. Right, okay, let's now do one other thing, which is, okay, let's say the deny doesn't crit here. So you do 75-ish% of Reuniclus, and you get killed by HP Ice. What does Sugarhigh do from here? He loses, right? Does he? Not necessarily, because you have Iron Head Scarfracci and the Reuniclus is low, so... Mm, so D-Knight dies, and there's a Reuniclus at 30% on the field. Let's say 33%. Revealed HP Ice. Starmid Eyes. No, you have to go for the Iron Head end game. But there's an interesting extra, which is if you get Scissoring on a Bronzone Protect, then you can click Pursue It, and that wins you the game if you flinch the Zam. But it's still a bunch of like, it's still a couple of guess turns, like 50-50s, kind of. So that's whatever. It's also true that Bronzo should probably be dead because of that Hydro Pump miss, but no, he hit 2 out of 3, that's fine. Granted, he missed the analytic one, I guess, but that's scope, come on. Alright, so this, I don't know, the downfall of this team is just, I mean, weird sets, and also a weird defensive profile where your Starmie switching takes 50%, which is Bronzong. Oh boy, okay. And what else can we say about this game? Not much, really. I mean, the plays were right. It's just that if you're Starmaster, you cannot really do much about the U-turn into Brelum with your Skarmory. Or rather, the Brelum has this up, and you go Skermory, and you don't have Brave Bird. You click. If you click Whirlwind, you lose next time Brelum comes in, basically. And if you click Cross Smash, you're going to do 20%, so that's not an option. You can roost because superpower drops the attack, but one, it's not a given that it's superpower, it's often low sweep instead. And if it's low sweep and you roost, you're kind of doing nothing. Even if you roost on the superpower, the next turn, what do you do? Do you roost again? You could, but and if you rock smash, yeah, it's at -1 defense, so you do 30% instead. Woohoo! Nah, I think this is just a problem with the Skarmory set, which that is to say, um, please run a Flying Stab on Skarmory next time. I know Breloom is not super popular, but it's not just for Breloom. Whereas Rock Smash is just for Escadrille, and as I said, you can just Rocky Helmet your Skarmory. Though I see the point because Sugarhigh really likes Magnus, and he brought it like twice already this tournament, so it's like Shell would be great, right? But I will question your decision to bring Skarmory in that case, but what do I know? Okay, anything else? No. Sugarhigh, there wasn't really much of a decision tree to consider this game for this team against this one. The only thing that looked a bit weird was the turn. I think turn. Okay, so this turn, I think you should go. Okay, so turn this 17 you spin. Good, great. I think here you should just go immediately Dragonite, and that that gives you, well, you still have a Starmie, which can always sacrifice it anyway later on. So if you try for this, I see the vision in that, as I said, it kind of opens up for a potential Scarfracci endgame, but I'm not a fan. I think you should go D-Knight here and just DD up. That's the only thing I don't super like about this game plan. But beyond that, yeah. Yeah, so that's it. That's the end of week 7. See you next time.